Graduates from Tulane's 10 academic units are now entering the floor, led by graduating students bearing the university's ceremonial gonfalons. Ridley Baker from Tallahassee, Florida. Ariana Baytop from Los Angeles, California. Jared Christian from Woodford County, Kentucky. Allison Christensen from Janesville, Wisconsin. Pablo Gonzalez from Dallas, Texas. Ellie Greenspan from Bannockburn, Illinois. Evan Harris from Decatur, Georgia. Emily Mahler from Mountaintop, Pennsylvania. Michaela McGahee from Manhattan Beach, California. Will Metcalf from Glen Ellen, Illinois. Isaac Schifflewin from Chicago, Illinois. The class of 2025 has 3,212 total graduates. Tonight, 1,934 students will receive undergraduate degrees from the schools of Architecture and Built Environment, Business, Liberal Arts, Professional Advancement, Public Health and Tropical Medicine, and Science and Engineering. 1,278 graduates and professional students will receive degrees from schools of Architecture and Built Environment, Business, Law, Liberal Arts, Medicine, Professional Advancement, Public Health and Tropical Medicine, Science and Engineering, and Social Work. The class of 2025 comes to Tulane from across the globe. They represent all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and 60 countries around the world. In their time as students, this extraordinary class contributed more than 115,000 hours of community service. Graduates, please take your seats. Graduates, please take your seats. Now please welcome members of the faculty from our academic community at Tulane. Led by University Marshal Professor Michael Cunningham, carrying the ceremonial mace, the faculty will enter behind a gonfalon bearing the university's colors, olive green and sky blue, carried by Anthony Priester from the Bronx, New York.
soon as we finish playing, I'll take the music stand and we can just head back to the conference.
Slide's good?
Yeah.
All right.
That one's good. This one is where it needs to be.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's in soon.
We'll find out, yeah.
We ask that all who are able to please rise. Led by the University Marshal, the platform party will enter behind the green gonfalon emblazoned with the seal from the official crest of Tulane University, carried by Gabrielle Reese of Houston, Texas. The president of the university marches at the end of the procession. Please be seated. Please welcome the chair of the Board of Tulane, David Mussafer.
Good evening. I'm David Mussafer, and on behalf of the Board of Tulane, I am thrilled to welcome all of you here to our 2025 Tulane University Unified Commencement Ceremony. 40 years ago, nearly to this day, I was sitting in these very same seats at the Superdome with a mixture of nervous excitement and anticipation. And let's face it, if your parents were like mine, mostly what they felt was relief. It is truly my pleasure to be here as we formally recognize and celebrate the academic achievements of all of you, our outstanding graduates. Our hope is that you're better people for having come to Tulane. And I know that Tulane is better because of your presence. We hope that you're wiser, not just in the world of academia, but in all the ways of the world. We hope you've received an educational experience with meaning and a degree with currency, both in the job market as well as trying to impress your relatives at Thanksgiving. We hope you've created beautiful memories, cultivated meaningful relationships, and made lifelong friends. We hope that you've explored, experienced, and enjoyed the many wonders of New Orleans, and that New Orleans is a special place. And you will always consider Tulane and New Orleans as your second home. As the Board of Tulane, it is now my honor and responsibility to officially begin tonight's ceremony with these words. Here, now, in the presence of the candidates for academic recognition, members of the faculty, staff, and administration, fellow members of the board, honored friends and alumni of Tulane University, commencement for the class of 2025 is hereby called to order.
For those who are able, we ask that you please rise. Please welcome Associate Provost and Chief Officer for Academic Excellence and Opportunity, Annalise Singh.
All right, well, hello, class of 2025. I'm going to read an invocation, and the purpose of an invocation is kind of to bring ourselves into this present moment. Are you ready? Awesome. Spirit of wisdom, resilience, and new beginnings, we gather tonight with full hearts, grateful for the journey that has brought the class of 2025 to this moment. We celebrate the knowledge you have gained, the friendships you've nurtured, the challenges you've overcome, and the growth that has shaped who you are becoming. As you well know, Tulane is rooted in the rich soil and deep culture of New Orleans. Our university and city has taught you transformative lessons about resilience, creativity, and community. You've learned how to thrive in the face of adversity and lead with both heart and purpose. Tulane and New Orleans have shaped your journey just as you have left your mark on both. As you step into this next chapter, may you carry the spirit of this place with you, bold, joyful, unshaken. May you lead with integrity, lift others as you rise, and imagine a world worthy of your courage and of your care. May your heart stay open, your purpose stay clear, and your connection to Tulane remind you that you will never walk alone. Class of 2025, let tonight's commencement ceremony be a moment to honor how far you've come and a bold beginning to all you are destined to become. Congratulations, class of 2025.
Please remain standing. Please welcome the class of 2025's Kayla DeAngelis and Ethan Hunt for performance of the Tulane alma mater.
We praise thee for thy past, O alma mater. Thy hand hath done its work full faithfully. The incense of thy spirit hath ascended and filled America from sea to sea. Olive green and blue, we love thee. Pledge we now our fealty true. Where the trees are evergreenest, where the skies are purest blue. Hear us now, O Tulane, hear us, as we proudly sing to thee. Take from us our heart's devotion. Thine we are, and thine shall be.
Please be seated. The 15th President of Tulane University, Michael A. Fitz.
Good morning. Tulane University Class of 2025, you are really something special. I knew it from the moment you first set foot on campus in the middle of a pandemic. I knew it when you faced down Hurricane Ida and bounced back from the storm. I knew it when you stood New Orleans strong in the aftermath of the Bourbon Street attack. And I know from this day on, you will carry that strength, resilience, and determination with you wherever you go. When you decided to attend Tulane, you made a commitment to academic excellence, to pursuing a curriculum that would challenge you and push you out of your comfort zone again and again. That is why I know that you are ready to face the toughest decisions and the biggest challenges that lie ahead. I also know that you're prepared for the completely unexpected. Like an historic blizzard dumping 10 inches of snow on New Orleans. So tonight I want you to take a moment to look back at all you faced and all you've overcome and all that you've accomplished, because you are the class of 2025. Now, graduation is a milestone that you will remember forever. But now you know that we do things differently at Tulane. So I'd like to celebrate this milestone by going to the movies. Movies are cultural milestones. They capture a specific moment in time. They both reveal and shape our values. That's why it's fitting to look at this moment through the lens of 3 unforgettable films, all of which are celebrating a milestone anniversary in 2025, and all which have vital lessons for you, the class of 2025. Now, for over a century, movies from all over the world have built industries, influenced trends, given us characters that outlive eras. But every production is a collaboration. As every Oscar winner knows, it's important to thank the many people who made this moment possible. So thank you to the Tulane faculty and staff who make this community so special. Thank you to the alumni who carry on Tulane's magnificent legacy. And especially thank you to the families and friends who celebrate this moment with us and who have supported our graduates throughout their journeys. We are so honored to have all of you here, so please take a moment to give your families and friends a wave and a wholehearted thank you. And now, class of 2025, I hope you're ready for your close-up, because you're a star and this is your world premiere. To walk us through our tour of landmark films, I've hired one of the best directors in the business. Riptide, will you please join me on the stage? Thank you, Riptide and Dare. I told you Tulane graduations are different. All right, the previews are over and the feature is about to begin. So grab your popcorn, we're in for a blockbuster night. For our first movie milestone, let's flash back to 2015. 10 years ago, Pixar brought joy, sadness, fear, anger, and disgust to life and brought memory theory to the masses with its hit Inside Out. The movie popularized the concept of core memories, important emotional events that shape our lives and our character. In fact, we're creating a core memory right now. Now, the story follows the life of an 11-year-old girl named Riley, whose family moves from Minnesota to San Francisco. This is a big change, and it sends Riley's emotions, joy, sadness, and the whole gang of feelings into overdrive. Inside Out powerfully demonstrates the complex nature of our eternal lives, how our memory can be happy, sad, and inspiring all at once. It reminds us to seek the light in the darkest moments and embrace the intricacies of our emotions. So, okay, Riptide, lights, camera, action. So today you leave Tulane with a wealth of core memories. The excitement and nervousness of moving in for the first time, the relief and pride of completing a difficult assignment, the giddy vulnerability of making friends who come to feel like family, and the heartbreak of saying goodbye when life takes you down different paths. Wherever you go, the people next to you today will forever understand you like no one else. Tulaneans speak a private language built by a unique community and enduring traditions that simply don't exist elsewhere. That kind of bond endures, and you will find the universe will conspire to have your paths intersect in strange and surprising ways. As you navigate careers, adventures, misfortunes, and triumphs, your Tulane family will be right there with you no matter how far apart you are. So now let's flash back to another film anniversary, leaping from our internal lives to outer space. Released 30 years ago, Apollo 13 brought iconic lines into our collective pop culture lexicon. You didn't have to see the movie to use the phrase, "Houston, we have a problem," or to dramatically state, "Failure is not an option." But as is often true in life, the most important part of Apollo 13 is when everything goes wrong. An explosion forces the astronauts to use their lunar module as a lifeboat. Meanwhile, back on Earth, a team scrambles to find solutions. Ready, Riptide? Lights, camera, action. Though you may not have to rescue astronauts in outer space, you will undoubtedly face challenges in the years after Tulane. But when you're confronted with a problem of galactic proportions, sometimes the answer will be to think small, to use or rethink everyday things in a new and novel way. If you've never seen Apollo 13, spoiler alert, the team in Houston found a solution in cardboard and duct tape. When your option seems limited, looking at what you have in a new way can make those options multiply. It's why ingenuity and innovation are so integral to Tulane's cross-disciplinary culture. A couple of Tulane students looked at empty glass bottles and saw a solution to coastal erosion. They founded Glass Half Full, which recycles millions of pounds of glass into sand that restores eroding coastlines. A couple of faculty members looked at machine learning technology and saw a secret weapon in detecting cancer. Their interdisciplinary Magic Scan project was awarded a $23 million bipartisan cancer moonshot grant by the then President of the United States. Ingenuity becomes a habit. Before you know it, you're finding new ways to see the world around you. And better yet, you're finding ways to help it. That's a growth mindset that will help you succeed on this planet and beyond. Now let's flash back even further, 50 years, from outer space to the briny deep, where something hungry lurks. Lights, camera, action. So Jaws needs no introduction. It's the quintessential story of man versus beast. A killer shark stalks the shores of Amity Island, and it's up to the local police chief to save his adopted hometown. When it was released in 1975, Jaws created a phenomenon, the summer blockbuster. It terrified moviegoers, inspired a generation of marine biologists, established Steven Spielberg as the director, and set a new record as the highest grossing movie ever. By all measures, Jaws is an enduring success. But it didn't start out that way. The production of Jaws was a notorious disaster. It was painfully over budget. It was way behind schedule. And most of all, there were problems with the shark. The shark was cross-eyed. Its mouth wouldn't close. Its skin was distorted by salt water. And worst of all, it sank. To save the film, Spielberg had to get creative. If he couldn't count on the shark to work, he had to rely on the audience's imagination to create a terrifying monster. He used daring camera work, clever visual clues, and a killer musical score to create tension and fear. The result was truly a scary movie that became a film legend. The lesson here is clear. Even something that appears to have gone horribly wrong can become a huge success. The difference is persistence, keep going. If what you planned isn't working, you don't necessarily need to change your goal. You may just need to find a different way to get there. Failure doesn't have to be final. It can be a detour, a strategic pause, or an all-out inspiration. Class of 2025, from Inside Out to Apollo 13 to Jaws, I hope you take decades of Hollywood inspiration with you as you take on the world. Your future begins here, where each of you is the director, the writer, the composer, and the star. Now is your moment to step into the spotlight. Riptide, would you please slate for this year's blockbuster production, Lights, Camera, Action, on the Tulane Class of 2025. Congratulations, Class of 2025. I'm so proud of you. So at this time, I'm delighted to introduce our student speaker for the Class of 2025. Devin Goldman. Devin has a few friends. Devin is graduating from Newcomb Tulane College today with 2 bachelor's degrees, a BS in psychology from the School of Science and Engineering, and a BA in health and wellness from the School of Professional Advancement. She came to Tulane from New York, drawn by Tulane's strong emphasis on community service. On campus, she's volunteered with Outreach Tulane and served as a peer success leader. She's also supported the Green Wave football team in a number of roles. From equipment manager to sports medicine indoor intern to supporting the team's operation director. Today, she will share her reflections on the importance of connection and perseverance when life takes an unexpected turn. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to the 2025 student speaker, Devin Goldman.
Hi, guys. This is pretty cool. distinguished guests, faculty, shocked professors, proud parents, and most importantly, the audacious graduates of the Tulane University Class of 2025. Hi, I'm Devin. If you haven't figured it out by now, I'm your 2025 student commencement speaker, and I could not be more honored. When you're given 4 minutes for a commencement speech, you hope it's inspirational, somewhat relatable, not too preachy, and maybe a little memorable. That being said, this is probably not going to be 4 minutes. But let's do this. For context, I come from a family of quoters. Everything from The Godfather to Instagram Reels is fair game. This will make sense momentarily. My Tulane journey began in 2017 at my cousin Jake's commencement right here in this Superdome. As I looked around at my first glimpse of a second line, surrounded by beads and umbrellas galore, I thought to myself, what the heck is this place? 8 years later, I remember exactly how Dame Helen Mirren described it. It's funky, it's beautiful, it's raunchy, it's sophisticated, it's elegant, it's raw, and witty, and cultured, and violent, and sleepy. Believe me, long after you graduate, New Orleans will remain a part of your soul. I know, right? Chills. Like all of you, I came to Tulane with dreams and aspirations of who I was and who I hoped to be by the time we got here. From evacuating for hurricanes, stressing out over my registration time slot, to snowball fights on Broadway. I'm not supposed to curse, but holy crap, did she undersell it. Each of us, whether we admit it or not, came to Tulane with a checklist. Did we complete our major, find our best friends, maybe even the love of our life? Whatever it may be, we came in with an agenda. Speaking for myself, I'm on agenda 6.0 and counting. There's been 1 or 2 revisions. Which brings me to my next quote. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. It's hard for me to stand up here without mentioning 3 people who should be with us today. Lindsay Weiner, Caleb Connor, and Ralph Adidiji. And anyone else who should be with us today. We want to thank you. More often than not, we take for granted the people that come into our lives. This is where I say, take a moment and look to your left and look to your right, but actually do it. The people sitting next to you, the ones you've chosen to celebrate this moment with, now say, thank you. In the craziness of college, we spend a lot of time focusing on our own agendas. But what we sometimes take for granted are the people who are on the journey with us, those that come into our lives when we need them the most. As much as we plan our lives and set agendas, everything can change in an instant. It's life. We get the privilege of holding on to the mistakes made, the lessons learned, and the people who we find along the way. Speaking for myself, I never imagined spending 2.5 years as a manager for the Tulane football team. 6 a.m. practices, laundry loops galore, the amount of times I've said, lock in. I've been told I've become obsessed with Tulane football. I prefer the term passionate. That being said, there are moments in life that change you, the unexpected times that you didn't plan for. These are the moments that make us the people who sit here today. They give us opportunities to react, respond, learn, grow. Somewhere along the line, we stop being victims to our circumstances. Life doesn't happen to us, it happens for us. Every experience, every failure is an opportunity to redefine the type of person that we choose to be in this unpredictable, beautiful world. Will we let the bitterness of our circumstances diffuse out negativity? Or will we use gratitude and perspective to be understanding, influential, audacious? Let me be clear. There will be people who doubt you, who think that to make themselves feel larger, they need to make the people around them smaller. I'll say it simply. Forget them. Every graduate sitting in a chair has a story of how we got to Tulane, overcame challenges, experienced adversity. Whether your story included the loss of a loved one, getting to class for your 8 a.m.s, working multiple jobs on campus to support not only yourself, but your family. Whatever your story may be, I'll be the one to say it. I'm proud of you. This place, this institution, these faculty, this city, your family are proud of you. This ceremony is only the beginning of our story, where we take what we learned these past few years and apply it to the world around us. Embrace the challenges that we have faced and acknowledge that we have not even touched the tip of our successes. We are changing, thriving, and learning. And now the world awaits us, challenging us for what we're going to do next. And we get the privilege of standing a little taller, reflecting on what we've gone through, looking life in the eye, and saying, bring it on. As Tulane graduates, this is what is being asked of us, being demanded of us. This is what we owe the world. It's not going to go how we planned. It's going to be better. My message to you is simple. While the world around us tries to fit us into boxes and form us into what it wants, remember who you are. Remember your story. Use it. Lean on the people around you. Trust yourself. Be audacious and spread your joy. Enjoy life and every bit of it. It moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you might miss it. At least that's what I've been told. Thank you.
Molly Demosthenes, Dean of Newcomb Tulane College, will present the honoree for undergraduate teaching.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to announce the Suzanne and Stephen Weiss Presidential Fellow. This fellowship is made possible by a generous gift from Suzanne and Stephen Weiss to recognize individuals who have demonstrated a sustained record of effective, inspiring, and distinguished teaching of undergraduate students. Our 2025 Weiss Fellow is Jacqueline Tony Howard. Yes. Professor Howard is the inaugural professor of practice in the Connolly Alexander Institute for Data Science. An interdisciplinary scholar whose expertise stretches from history to data literacy, Professor Howard is widely admired for her dedication to meeting students' needs to achieve better learning outcomes. According to the many students and colleagues who nominated her, Dr. Howard consistently goes above and beyond and contributes and innovates in every dimension of the student experience. And every member of the Tulane community is indebted to wonderful teachers like Dr. Howard. She serves as a model for what a professor at Tulane should be. Professor Howard, please come forward. She's here.
Robin Foreman, Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs and Provost, will present the honorees for graduate and professional teaching.
The first recipient for the President's Award for Excellence in Graduate and Professional Teaching is Catherine O'Connor, professor in the School of Social Work. Professor O'Connor is lauded for putting her students first, building cross-disciplinary collaborations with faculty from other schools, and creating opportunities for experiential learning and leadership. Her students say Dr. O'Connor's vibrant approach to teaching shines through the thought-provoking reading she assigns, the constructive feedback she offers, and the emotional support she provides without hesitation. And, quote, "As a recent graduate, I have received and continue to benefit from the excellent, rigorous, and compassionate teaching and mentorship provided by Dr. O'Connor. I have grown in more ways than I can possibly recount." Professor O'Connor, please come forward, and congratulations. Our second recipient of the President's Award for Excellence in Graduate and Professional Teaching is Randy Sparks, the Clement Chambers Benenson Professor in the Department of History in the School of Liberal Arts. As a member of the Tulane faculty for 25 years, Professor Sparks has advised dozens of graduate students, brought clarity and insight to difficult topics in the classroom, and published extensively. He oversaw a complete revitalization of the history graduate program that will have a positive impact on students for years to come. His former students say, quote, "Dr. Sparks provided a warm and welcoming environment as a tremendous lecturer, a studious scholar, and a most supportive advisor with his door always open." And, quote, "The conversations in his office and the emails we traded after graduation helped me find the right path when the road ahead may not have been clear." Professor Sparks, please come forward, and congratulations.
So in a few minutes, I will have the honor of bestowing upon you the rights and privilege of your specific academic degrees. I'll graduate you. But this is Tulane, and it is our tradition to pause at this point in the ceremony to pay tribute to this great city and to acknowledge how unique its culture has been and how it's enriched our lives. In the birthplace of jazz, I think it appropriate that this salute should be musical.
Please welcome Tulane staff member Yolanda Winze, who will perform with Dr. Michael White and the original Liberty Jazz Band.
Do you know what it means to miss New Orleans and miss it each night and day. I know I'm not wrong, the feeling's getting stronger the longer I stay away. Oh, those moss-covered vines and tall sugar pines, where mockingbirds used to sing. And I love to see the lazy Mississippi hurrying into spring. Oh, the moonlight on the bayou, Creole tunes that fill the air. I dream of old magnolias in June, and soon I'm wishing I were there. Do you know what it means to miss New Orleans? 'Cause that's where you left your heart. And there's one thing more, I miss the one I care for more than I miss New Orleans. You Creole tunes that fill the air. I dream of old magnolias in June, and soon I'm wishing I were there. You know what it means to miss New Orleans, 'cause that's where you left your heart. And there's one thing more, I miss the one I care for more than I miss New Orleans. Congratulations, class of 2025.
Please welcome the president of the Tulane Alumni Association, Jennifer Mills.
Let's Let's give another round of applause to Yolanda Weinze, Dr. Michael White, and the Original Liberty Jazz Band. Their beautiful performance is a poignant reminder of what it truly means to miss New Orleans, a feeling I know personally and many of our alumni can relate. While today marks one end of a chapter in your lives, it is only the beginning of your journey with Tulane. You will continue to share a lifelong relationship with this city, and as you join a community of more than 170,000 Tulaneans across the globe, we hope you will find plenty of ways to remain connected with us. On behalf of the Tulane Alumni Association, congratulations, class of 2025, and welcome to the Tulane alumni family.
The Chair of the Board of Tulane, David Mussafer.
Okay. What do you say we get to the part we've all been waiting on? On behalf of the board, I have the pleasure of accepting the recommendation of the faculties of Tulane's academic community. And now, I'll hand it over to our Provost, Robin Foreman, to introduce each of the deans.
So before we get to the main event, we're going to take just a brief moment to recognize the leaders of Tulane's academic community. They join us on the platform as representatives of the many hundreds of faculty and staff who have contributed to and shaped your education. As I call your name, please briefly stand and be recognized. Iñaki Alday, Dean of the School of Architecture and Built Environment. Paulo Goiz, Dean of the A.B. Freeman School of Business. Marceline Burke, Dean of the Law School. Catherine Jack, Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Programs for the School of Liberal Arts. She's here on behalf of Dean Brian Edwards, who cannot be here because he's attending the college graduation of his daughter. Lee Ham, Dean of the School of Medicine. Molly Demosthenes, who you've already met, Dean of Newcomb Tulane College. Ilyana Kwaski, Interim Dean of the School of Professional Advancement. Thomas Leviste, Dean of the Celia Scott Weatherhead School of Public Health and Tropical Medicine. Pradesh Rajan, Dean of the School of Science and Engineering. And finally, Susan Davies, Interim Dean of the School of Social Work. Thank you. And now, will the candidates for all undergraduate degrees please stand? President Fitz, it is my pleasure to present to you the candidates for the undergraduate degrees as recommended by the faculties of their schools.
The moment you've been waiting for. I hereby confer your degrees with all appropriate honors, rights, privileges, and responsibilities. You may now switch your tassel to the left side of your caps. Congratulations!
And now, I'll ask you all to be seated for just a moment because we have others to recognize. Now, will the candidates for graduate and professional degrees please stand? President Fitz, it is my great pleasure to present to you the candidates for all graduate and professional degrees as represented by the faculties of their schools.
I hereby confer your degrees with all appropriate honors, rights, privileges, and responsibilities. Okay, one final round of applause for all of our graduates, from everybody. And now, before we go, I'd like to invite Riptide and our student speaker, Devin Goldman, back to the podium to lead the hullabaloo cheer. So, class of 2025, you're now graduates of Tulane University. You have a new core memory that will stay with you forever. And that means there's only one thing left to do. You know what it is? We're going to do a roll wave on 3. And I want to hear it across all of the Superdome. Okay, the entire stadium join in. Ready? 1, 2, 3, roll wave! Congratulations, class of 2025.